Hello, welcome back to my channel. My name is Heidi, and if you are new here, this channel we talk all things insomnia. However, this video is going to be a little bit different. I am going to talk about insomnia, but I'm going to talk about my pregnancy because I am 17 weeks pregnant. I am so excited. I really just want the baby to be here now. I cannot wait. This is my first birth, but second child, so I am a stepmom to the most beautiful list girl ever. So soon we figure out if she's gonna get a sister or a brother, and I'm so excited. I know I keep saying I'm excited, but I'm really excited. But yeah, I know for me, it's been really great to hear women be very open about their pregnancies, about their labor and birth stories, about postpartum and everything like that, because this first trimester, the first trimester was super hard for me. And because I've heard stories of women going through the same thing before getting into that trimester, it made me feel like I wasn't alone. And I wasn't sitting there wondering, am I dying? Because it certainly feels like it. So I just want to be open and honest with you about my pregnancy, my journey, how it's all been, what I've been doing, and get into my sleep as well, and let you know how that's been and what's been helping. Also talk about being off my medication I had for my insomnia and how that's been. Yeah, so without further ado, let's get into it. When we figured out, I was already starting to feel a little weak, a little tired, a little bit like, oh, something's off with me, but nothing severe yet. Yeah, my husband and I took a test, came back positive. And at first, honestly, I can't really say I was excited, but I can't really say I was mad about it either, because we weren't trying, but we decided to come off birth control. And so we knew it was a possibility. And I really just did not like birth control. I wanted to be off of it. So we decided to come off of it. And that's what happened. We knew we were in an okay place if something were to happen. So 4 days after my period's due, we take a test. And I'm full of like no emotions and mixed emotions. Like, oh my gosh, okay, well, this is happening. Like, okay. Next day, I'm excited and I'm like, let's tell everyone. We told my stepdaughter first. She's so excited. And then we told our families and they are so excited. So in my family, I will be the first out of my 6 siblings to give birth. So this is really big news for my family. We are so happy. We're all like, just a lot of questions. We're all like anxious to see how it happens. Not how it happens, but like how it goes, and start the process of having grandkids and nieces and nephews and all of that. So my siblings figuring out how to be there for me and like just constantly asking what can I, and yeah, just learning along with me this journey of having a baby, which yeah. And then my husband's been so amazing. As I said, this first trimester has been tough and I'm about to get into that, but he's just been so amazing and helping me through it and providing for me and making sure that I feel supported and loved and know that I'm not alone through this journey. So now I feel like I'm ready for the baby. I'm ready for everything a baby comes with, all the challenges, all the love, all the cuddles, all the kisses. I am ready for that. And because this first trimester has been awful, I'm just like, can we skip to 5 months from now, please? So shortly after telling our families that we're pregnant, my body, my health just start to go downhill. Like the morning sickness just becomes severe. I start throwing up. One day I started throwing up every 20 minutes. So I had to take back what I was drinking and eating, and like, meaning don't drink anything or eat anything. And the worst part about that was that lasted 4 days straight. Everything I was eating, drinking, I could not keep down, and that was so scary. Eventually called my doctor and she said, go pick up some Unisom and vitamin B6. So my husband did, brought it back to me. And by the end of the night, I was able to keep a little bit down. It got a little bit better. Still super nauseous. 2 weeks later, they had a prescription for me. They asked if I wanted to try something else. And they prescribed promethazine. That worked a little bit better. Still had really off days. And basically each day was a mystery. I didn't know if I was gonna be able to keep food down or if I was like, okay, I'm gonna eat today. I just didn't know. I pretty much I kept calling off work because I just was feeling awful. I was so tired and my morning sickness was terrible. And I'm like, I can't go into work throwing up as often as I am right now. And knowing that, oh goodness, I was feeling so moody. I was feeling like just not with it. My brain was all over the place and it was awful. I basically let my management know that like, hey, you gotta take me off the schedule. And I work a server job at a restaurant and I thankfully have really great management. I know everyone doesn't have that, and so I'm very much privileged to have that. And they took me off the schedule and basically I pick up the last minute days I know that I'm good. Something else that was going on in the first trimester as well is that I just felt like I was going down the direction of being depressed. I want to be careful using that word because I believe there's a vast understanding of that word that I don't have. So I don't want to be like, yeah, I'm depressed. When there's people out there truly who knows what that's like, but just really feeling like I'm going down that direction. And things that usually make me happy, didn't want anything to do with it, was using all the energy I could to be with my husband and my daughter and just be present with them. Now, honestly, I just kept wanting to go to bed or just be on the couch. And I remember even times like I didn't even want to watch TV or didn't even want to be on my phone. Things, when you're sick that make you happy, like, yeah, I'll stay home from school and watch TV all day. It wasn't like that. Like, I didn't want to do anything. I was just really not in a good spot the first couple of months of this pregnancy. Okay, let's talk about sleep for a second. So as soon as we figured out we were pregnant, got off the Seroquel because I know the doctors already gave me a heads up, like, you can't be on that when you're pregnant. Got off of that. That wasn't even a question. Just like, oh, no, not dare touching this. And I was on it for 3 years prior to that. And I was taking 25 milligrams most of the time. But a year ago, I cut down, I would cut the pill in half. And so that would end up being like 12 to 13 milligrams. I remember the first night getting like 4 hours of sleep. And I wasn't too mad about that, because I really felt like if I didn't take this medication, then I'm gonna get no sleep. But I did get some sleep. And I remember the next night, it was rough. And then the next night, I ended up being good. So, and it kept like going back and forth with that. Quite honestly, I was so sick that my sleep didn't really matter. Like, it mattered, and I was getting some of it, and I was happy with that because it was nice knowing like, wow, okay, I am getting sleep off my medication that I've been on for 3 years. That to me was really cool. If you have insomnia, you might understand that feeling of just feeling like you're so reliant on your medication. But I'm like, okay, I'm getting some sleep. I'm not mad at that. And that is something too, if your partner has insomnia, definitely understand where they're coming from if they don't want to become pregnant, because that means most medications that are for insomnia, you can't be on it while you're pregnant. And everybody's body's different. So what I experience may or may not happen with your partner if they ever do become pregnant. So I know some pregnant women in the first trimester, they slept amazing. All they did was sleep. that was not the case for me. But like I did have nights where like I was sleeping 6-7 hours without the medication. It was probably like 30% of the time. It definitely wasn't a lot. I also just did a video about Unisom, and that is a sleep aid that doctors recommend for nausea. I took it for 2 months straight, and I just did a video of how that helped me. So I'll link that down below if you want to go watch that. Something that was helpful for me was to make sure I was getting out of my bed, because my sickness was so bad that I just wanted to like lay in bed. I made sure days that I wasn't so terrible that I needed to get out of the bed and go to the couch or just somewhere else. Normally it was the couch, to just be there and like kind of like camp out there for the day. And the reason for that is because I could feel myself getting really sick in my bed. Like I just remember like I kept tossing and turning and no position would be comfortable, and I'm like, I really don't want to be here, and I'm like, this is awful, and I'm really like, yeah, just my bed was black. So that's something that you might want to think about, is if you are pregnant and you really have horrible morning sickness, try to get out of your bed and camp somewhere else for the day. Or, I mean, if you can, exercise and actually do stuff for the day. But if you're like me and you're just so sick, try to get out of your bed. And so don't camp out at your bed and camp out the toilet, because those were the two places I was just, yep, you either find me at the bed or the toilet, because I kept throwing up, if you didn't catch on to that. Something else that was nice to have is just comfortable blankets that do make you happy. I'm not gonna lie, things that I normally do, like I have an essential oil diffuser behind me, and I've been diffusing essential oils like lavender and chamomile for about like 3 years now, that like I didn't really care for during that time. So different things that do make you happy, for me, they're like falling by the wayside, but still like good just in case, like just to bring some comfort during that time. I know my husband kept checking on me, just getting what I needed. My daughter kept checking on me, being super sweet, asking me what I need, giving me hugs, and just being wonderful. So honestly, it's like people that made me feel good during that time. And yeah, and just a lot of text messages from friends asking if I need anything, ask how I was doing, just saying that they loved me and praying and all of that, and that was super wonderful. So if you know anybody like this, definitely send them a loving text message, because that might mean more than what you know. They might not respond, or it might be a while. Just a heads up, but that's okay. So I just got done explaining this to someone the other day. The first 2 months of being super nauseous, I didn't want food. Like, food was super disgusting, super awful. Like, I'd be throwing up, be like, I do not want to see food. I do not want to smell it. I don't want to touch it. I don't want to taste it. But then, like, it got to the point where I'd be nauseous, but I'd still be hungry. Like, yeah, I'm throwing up, but like a plate of shrimp sounds really good right now. And that's pretty much what it's been even till this day. It's like I all of a sudden switched to being like a foodie. Food is wonderful. I like crave different things. And my poor husband, so it first started out like I'd crave something random. It'd be, yeah, something random. First, this was burgers at that time. I wanted a cheeseburger, so I went to McDonald's and got a cheeseburger. My loving husband made cheeseburgers like the next night, and I'm like, I don't want any, because like I satisfied that craving. So it's really bad. I want something and I'm so fixated on it until I get it, and once I get it, I'm good. So now he knows, don't get me what I said I wanted yesterday unless you've checked back in with me and make sure I still want it. Is anybody else like this, or is that just me? Foods I do want, or pretty much anything, I'm like eating it and I'm like, oh, this is so good. It's like the taste has whatever word that is. It has become heavenly. I'm like, oh, this is so good. Also, going back to my nausea, please tell me if you've been pregnant and you understand where I'm coming from. Being nauseous, like having the flu or being nauseous for other reasons besides being pregnant, it's not the same as being nauseous while you're pregnant. Yes, they have similarities, but to me, it just felt like something was going on with my digestive system. Like I'm nauseous and like just my stomach's doing a million different things and I just can't pinpoint what. So what was really, even to this day, has been so nice drinking is soda. So since I was in 10th grade, got myself to stop drinking soda. So if I ever drank soda, it was just sips of other people's, like my husband's or whatever. And I never bought myself soda. Like I'll never go to a restaurant and just buy, have my drink be soda. I never do that because I know how bad it is for you. I was getting like 3 to 4 a week. And that's just because it goes down nicely. The carbonation, it feels so good. So I was drinking, first it was like ginger ale, because ginger ale is very much like a staple in my family. Like if you're sick, that's just something, it's very, what's the word? Nostalgic. It's very nostalgic where if you're sick, my mom always got us tea and ginger ale. So I was drinking ginger ale because it was very comforting. Sprite, drinking that as well. Sometimes drinking Dr. Pepper. I'm like, this is not good for you. So I was trying to drink soda water, but it wasn't like soda water. I feel like I can only go so far with, but there's just one drink. I think it's called Bossa Nova. And I found it like on sale at one of the grocery stores and it has like 5% juice in it. So it's like soda water with just a little bit more in it. And it's perfect. So my husband and I literally went to the store the other day and bought cases of it because, yeah, the other day I drank three of them. There's probably still something wrong with that, but I did, and I'm not bad about it. Something else before getting into this pregnancy too was that, yeah, if I ever become pregnant, I'm gonna work out, I'm gonna exercise every day, and I'm gonna eat super healthy, and that's just not the case. I've been having to give myself a lot of grace the first trimester and know that, like, yeah, I can't work out right now. I'm trying to just walk from here to the living room is difficult. So I've been having to like give myself a lot of grace and a lot of understanding, because everybody else around me has definitely been more than understanding with it. So like, why am I not understanding with it? Now that I'm in the second trimester, I'm feeling a difference. Here's what I don't know, because I am pregnant, but I also went off of medication that I've been on for 3 years. So I don't know the first couple months what was symptoms of pregnancy and what was symptoms, or what was withdrawal symptoms. I don't know. What I've studied, they almost kind of look like the same. Like some people have experienced nausea and mood swings and just feeling like they're out of it. So I'm wondering too if, yes, I'm pregnant, but there's also a little bit of getting the medication out of my system. The doctor did tell me though, however, that what I was on should not affect the baby at all. About a month ago, I went back into the doctor and I was telling them about the promethazine, how it's definitely somewhat helping the nausea, but I still have really bad days. And they're like, well, would you like to try something else? And I'm like, you know what? Yeah. So they recommended Zofran, and that by far has been the best medication for nausea that I have tried. I take it twice a day, one in the morning, one at night, and I'm having a lot of better days. I'm hoping it's more that I'm in the second trimester, therefore I can slowly start to stop taking the Zofran, come a little bit off of it, and maybe completely off of it, and know that I'm gonna have good days. But when I don't take it, I definitely notice a difference. I'm still nauseous, but I have a lot of better days and I don't throw up as much anymore, which is really nice. And I'm eating a lot of food. So let's talk about sleep. For the first time in 4 years, I am sleeping without taking anything for sleep, taking no sleep aids, no sleeping pills. I don't need the essential oil diffuser. I don't need like all the natural stuff like teas and everything to get a good night's sleep. It's pretty awesome. Now, it's not every night, but it is a good about like 70 to 80% of the nights I'm getting good sleep. Gosh, I feel like I'm actually a human again, and like I can sleep like a normal human again, and I'm going to bed and my dreams are way more vivid, and I think that's a sign that you're having deep sleep, but don't quote me on that. But I wake up feeling so way more refreshed than I ever have in the past 4 years. I'm falling to sleep okay. If I do wake up in the middle of the night, I just most of the time doesn't take me a long time to fall back asleep, maybe somewhere between 2 to 30 minutes. Yeah, and I just want to point out again, that's my journey at the moment. That's not every woman's journey. So do not like tell a woman like, yeah, the second trimester you're gonna sleep great, because that might not be their story. But by the grace of God and his glory and his majesty, I'm sleeping and it's wonderful. Real quick too, my energy's way up, my mood is better, I don't feel those depressed feelings anymore. I feel more with it, I feel more alert, I feel more awake. I feel the best I ever had in the past 4 years. And if you're somebody on sleeping medication, you probably know that a good night's sleep on medication is different from a good night's sleep off of medication. Still being on medication, you still get this like hangover effect, this groggy, this drowsy effect the next morning, sometimes throughout the whole rest of the day. But yeah, I'm noticing, oh my goodness, I feel so much better being off my medication too. I've noticed, yeah, I want to be careful with saying this, but like I notice a lot more of my memory coming back. Things that I knew that I was forgetting a lot more easier. And I was like, well, I am getting older, so I don't know if it's something to do with that. I'm now seeing that was definitely my medication, because as I said, I'm a server. I'd go into work and I'm now putting in orders without needing to look at my book. And it's awesome. I'm like, wow, I could not do that like 3 months ago. Actually, last month. But now I'm just, oh, I'm good. Like, wow. I notice my quick thinking is getting better. I can think more on my toes again. Not that I really could before. I've always been like someone to process things slower, but it's a little bit better. Being off medication, I definitely can tell mentally I feel so much better. Energy wise, I feel so much better. I used to be a morning person before I got on that medication, and that medication kind of took that away, where if I got up in the morning, I did not want to wake up and I just felt super groggy, and I'm just, yeah. That morning person side of me is back, and I'm so happy about that. I would wake up and be like, yeah, let's start today. And I'm like, I missed that. That's been super nice. I am hoping, and I'm talking to the doctors about this, that it is not just because I'm pregnant and I'm in the second trimester and something hit right with the hormones and stuff. I really hope it's more on the side of my body is fixing itself, because that means the third trimester and postpartum and breastfeeding and all off of like being past that my sleep will still remain how it is right now, and I don't have to get back on my medication or even rely on sleeping aids, over-the-counter stuff and natural things like lavender oil and teas and ashwagandha and all that. Like, nothing wrong with that, but like, it just be nice not to rely on it. I do have a couple theories as to why I'm sleeping good now. Again, it could just be the pregnancy, so I don't know. We'll see. I'm praying. God, I'm like, please, please, Lord, please let it continue like this so I can use your prayers as well. 2-3 years ago, just stopped taking melatonin, because, you know, melatonin is like the hype in the Insomniac world, where if you have any sleeping issues, the first thing that comes up is, oh, take melatonin. But melatonin is actually known to ruin your body's natural melatonin. Our bodies naturally produce melatonin, and if we take melatonin so much, it can upset that. And I did. I took it a lot. Not taking it, I'm wondering if my body slowly started to produce its natural melatonin again, and now it's like, okay, I'm fixed again. My second thing is I wonder if my circadian rhythm got back into place, if my body's cycle, if I'm waking up and going to bed around the same time, and that part's just fixed. Like my internal clock is back in order. Maybe there's something else I'm unaware of too that needed time to adjust to fix itself. I really hope it's leaning more towards that direction. As I said, everybody's body's different. If you're going into this and you're in your second trimester and you are still just not getting good sleep, like, I really feel for you and I really pray for you, and especially during this time, because this can be a really trying time. So I really pray that you find energy and you find rest and you find support during this time. Also, I made a video about CBD oil about a couple months ago, and I not taking that as well because I can't take CBD oil when you're pregnant. So that is probably something after postpartum and all of that, maybe I'll try again. But again, it would be nice not to have to rely on it. I know my fridge has a couple of bottles right now that I was using. So I put it in the fridge, so hopefully it's nice and fresh when this time is over. If you have any questions, please feel free to leave them in the comments below. I'll do my best to get to them. As I said though, this time, like some days I'm still waking up and I'm like, oh, like I feel awful, but I am having more good days, so I am gonna try to comment back to y'all. And let me know if you like this content, because I would love to give more content about like being pregnant and getting good sleep, or how to get good sleep and what helps me. And maybe when I have the baby, I can give, or as I'm learning how to sleep having a baby and how to help the baby sleep throughout the night, maybe I will learn some things and I can share that eventually one day. And if you have been there, I would love to hear from you as well. What helps you get your baby to sleep throughout the night? Just all that stuff. All that fun jazz of being a mama and having sleep issues. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.